1st. Okay, so November 10, 2 weeks. 1 year, 2 weeks old, and I had her baby sister.
Jessica and Sasha, I believe, for at least 2 weeks. I'm
What?
pretty sure it's 2 weeks. They're the same age.
Wow, so that's almost the same situation, or better yet, having two babies within 8 months of each other, because I had Lourdes on January 13th, Mary on August 14th, 01.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I lost my cousins on September 11th the same year.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Okay, in between Evangelina and Lourdes was 8 months.
Tonight, other than
No. In between Mary and Lourdes. Well, Lourdes was January 13th, and then Mary was August 14th, 2001. And I was 5 months pregnant with Mary when I lost her. I was 20 weeks.
Delete Evangelina and Lourdes. And then almost 8 months later,
Mary.
Mary.
But between Lourdes and Evangelina, I had a miscarriage.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you were beaten at all during Delia?
I was. And
Okay.
strangled.
Well, I mean, like, where you were like, having trauma down below where
Area
there
secured.
was something be going on down, you know, all of that, yeah, that would be the reason why you had to keep it in.
Wake up. Hostiles in the area.
Mary
Be advised. Hostiles are on alert.
So was the miscarriage.
Yeah. And then also Connor and the twins.
Connor was the only one I didn't get beaten.
Yeah. Okay.
I was just emotional.
Yeah.
And nauseated. I guess you could say the normal pregnancy symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
Emotional and nauseated. Hormonal and crap. Were you very hormonal? Like, did you get emotional and shit when you were pregnant with Sasha and Jessica? No, like, so you weren't like,
really bad cravings.
Of?
Jessica was apple juice. I lived on apple juice. Could not get enough.
white grape. Been there.
I don't understand what it was, but I had to have apple juice. So I would have gallons of it. And Alan would go out and make sure.
We're in the clear.
Did you ever get WIC? Because WIC gives you apple juice.
Yeah. Yeah, but he had a job, so.
Yeah, and
He didn't really go that bad.
and
He didn't have to.
hey,
And then Sasha.
There might be some intel here.
Roger. Getting in position.
Pop.
Getting in position.
this one here.
All set.
I'm on the target.
Now,
Crosshairs on
all
target.
that apple juice when you were pregnant.
Clear. They're gone.
I'm.
Rock and roll.
Would that be about when you developed diabetes?
No. I didn't get diabetes until 2013.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
Moving to target.
Well,
Much later.
And she barely got an endo this year.
right. But being diabetic and drinking apple juice like that, well, it wasn't apple juice. You know what a Rispada is, right?
Well, the father, yes. I do.
I don't know if you are aware of it, and if you did, would you remember it? But Norwalk Boulevard, like Workman Mill Road, goes through Rose Hills, comes down to Beverly, turns into Norwalk, right?
Right.
Continue all the way down past Whittier, and then Washington Boulevard, and it goes into Santa Fe Springs, Los Nietos area, right?
Okay. Right.
Where it looks like it's kind of like a wider business boulevard, it kind of gets a little narrow, like, because this one 2 or 3 block section, it slows all the way down to 25 miles an hour because it's narrow, because
Hostile down coast lead.
it's the buildings and everything, they were built like in the early 1900s when things were built closer together.
Is it
'Cause-
kind of like a business loop?
No, it's not a business loop. It's just like in like this area, Santa Fe Springs, it would be like the main drag or something because there's all these storefront, and there's a restaurant called the Green Burrito.
Like with a green
Sit
burrito.
here, boss.
Rispadas at the Green Burrito. 20 ounce,
Hostile.
20 ounce, 32 ounce, 44 ounce.
They're down.
Nice shooting.
Renee with the boys.
Guess what? With Willie in the summer of '86,
Overhead. Be careful.
let's go down to Santa Fe Springs and get a Rispada from the Green Burrito. And we would share a 20 ounce, and then that's like, no, I'm like, we'll share it because it's pretty big.
We're compromised.
She wouldn't share it. I had to go get my own. So then the next time, 2 days later, we're going back there, and I get the next larger one, and we're sharing that, but we're fighting over it. So the next time it was like the big 44 ounce big family jumbo Rispada.
Backing you up, boss. Toward the target.
With suicide, that is, was like at least 3 different flavors.
Oh my god. Wow.
No wonder the bitch gained over 80 pounds and developed gestational diabetes.
Got a hostile.
That would do it.
Yep.
And William was 10 pounds, 4 ounces.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Big fucking baby, built on nothing but molasses.
Yep, that would do it.
Brian was 9 pounds, 6 ounces.
We built
No.
this turd.
No, he was 9 pounds 10 ounces, and Philip was 8'14".
Nope. 8 pounds, 9 ounces.
Oh,
My boy is 8 pounds, 9 ounces.
okay.
And
Okay,
it's
spotted.
the same
Okay.
that you were when you were born. You
Okay.
and your twins.
Enemy helo inbound.
All right.
Stay low.
Actually, Philip and Corey were the same weight and the same height at birth.
Wow.
Okay, yeah. 10 pounds. Now listen to the pattern. 10 pounds 4 ounces, 9
Out
pounds
of range. We're good.
10 ounces, wasn't it?
I thought it was 9'6", but okay.
No, it was like 9 pounds 10 ounces, and 8 pounds 9 ounces. 8 pounds 9 ounces, 9 pounds 10 ounces, 10 pounds.
4 ounces.
See the pattern?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I see that she was trying to get gradually better, but she said that she had gestational diabetes with all three.
No,
That's what she said.
no. She was only having to do it with um, William,
Why
but
would she have any reason to lie about it?
The same as that one crazy girl who lied about being there during the Twin Towers.
And, I mean, she said that she had to make sure that the boys always got looked at because they could end up with diabetes. Because
Right.
she had it with all three of them. So she had all three of them getting blood tests.
She had to test her blood sugar all the time, but she didn't have to take much insulin.
And
With,
she,
if any at all, with Brian and Philip. William, yeah, I think. Did she use insulin?
she said she did for all three of them.
I don't remember her taking any type of vialing for it.
Okay,
You would have been inside of her.
bloviations, okay? Trying to, keep from being,
And why,
too overly one-upped by you. She has to get close. So yeah, she had it with all three when actually no.
oh, so she was trying to get commonality then.
I think so,
Spotted one there.
Oh dear.
because it was only really with Willie.
And
Brian, no. In fact, Brian, no real complications.
she said all three,
But she had gestational diabetes with Willie. She gained over 80 pounds, and in the end, when he was full term but wasn't coming, we need him to come now because she had iron poor blood, right? And eventually it turned into she had toxemia. So they had to do it, and so they tried to induce labor for trying to remember exactly. It was like 27 hours, or was it closer to 30? And then 8 hours of rest, and then another 10 hours. And they're like, you know what? I've already done 3 today. I just did 1, and so I'm on a roll, and he's not coming. So
we got to go in for him.
because I think if I remember, she wasn't even dilated up to past 5. Or maybe she was, but she just was.
She said she didn't dilate.
Yeah, she wasn't dilating, and he
And she
wasn't
didn't
coming.
affect-
So, and they induced it for like a combined 37 hours or something like that.
Okay. Because
And then they decided they went and he's on a roll. So
what she said was she was diabetic with all three, gestationally. It went away after each one was born. She was sick when she was pregnant with Philip. And so she was in the hospital after he was born. But then, in an email, she wrote that she had brought him home and that she held him first and smelled the sweet baby scent. So she has 2 different stories about Philip. At one point, she said you brought him home, until an email that she sent after the adoption saying I brought him home and I held him first and smelled his first sweet baby scents.
I can say
Okay.
this.
So she doesn't know how to hold the truth, but Corey brought him home.
for the
Bitch
I
lies.
think it was
But she tested all the boys for blood sugar because all the boys had a diabetic pregnancy.
she was at a risk for it with Philip, I think, but she had no complications with Brian.
Drink water, boss.
But since she had a cesarean, had to do another one. especially because they would be 15 months apart. It's kind of too close. If it was like 3-4 years, yeah, fine. But if it was only
So no VBAC. Vaginal birth after
No.
cesarean.
no VBAC. So she did cesarean with him, no complications. However, I don't know if she was sick during or if her blood sugar, maybe her blood sugars was, and she just kept it from me. I don't know. I do not remember her having any issues, but she did develop walking pneumonia after the birth. For some reason,
So post delivery.
yeah, it was more post delivery, but she was going to the doctor's office almost every week because it's getting down to the end, and she had a checkup that morning, like a 9 o'clock appointment, and since I'm in Long Beach, since I'm in Long Beach between 6 a.m. and nearly 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I couldn't have taken her, so someone else had to, and she got a ride somehow and then back, but
Would she
then,
have taken the bus?
yeah, she could have, but she wouldn't. I don't think she would.
She's in the city.
Not unless she absolutely
Yep.
had to.
She took the bus out in the
Want them to hear you. Use your
out where
sight.
we lived.
Well, yeah, that's because it's out there and she had no one else to rely on. However,
Azrael drone on station 6. Stay low.
So Mary won't watch the baby, but she'll take her to the
she watched them because either Arlene or a cousin or an aunt had to take her back over to the hospital. I mean, over to the doctor's office, and she ended up being hospitalized. So when I came home,
Azrael's range. We're good.
I parked, I went down into the apartment, and hey, where are you? And I picked up the phone and I called Mary. I said, hey Mary, I just got home. Or no, wait. I just got home and I was getting out of the car, and Mary came out and said, hey Tori, don't bother, Renee's not home, she's at the hospital. The doctor, she had a checkup this morning, but the doctor wanted her to go back after some lab work. Okay, so she's in the hospital. Yeah. Took off and, where's the boys? I got them. Okay, great. Went down and found her in labor and delivery. Oh, found her down, well, not in the doctor's office, not in the emergency room, but like the labor and delivery, but kind of like not where you're actually in labor, you're kind of like one of the other side areas.
Well, LDR triage, like where we
Kind of like something like that, and they were feeding her meds or something, but eventually it came out, no, something's going on. Maybe she had toxemia or something with
Heads up. Bad guy
Philip
over there.
as well. I'm not sure.
she said she was sick and she couldn't breathe.
Right,
The sickness made her so she couldn't breathe.
yeah,
Get it?
And that was when she was still pregnant before the cesarean.
okay,
So either she was coming down with it and they found that she was looking peaked and decided, you know what, since she's a gestational diabetic and she's so many months and the baby looks okay, let's get this
Yeah.
baby out and get her better.
Something like that. Mind you, that was what, 35, 35, 36 some years ago? It was a long time ago, and
Night vision on.
Well, it
I
was
don't,
exactly,
I don't know how much she was telling me the truth. I don't know. I don't know how much of what she's ever told me is the truth, or what. I don't know.
truth be told,
But
I don't know how much truth she's told me, because there's a lot of stuff that has been said that,
Switching to night vision.
I mean, she tells me one thing about a situation, I tell you about it, and you seem to debunk everything she has to say, no matter what it is. There's
What?
always a way that you can clash with her.
He likes it.
And it's mainly during the
I
pregnancy,
got eyes on an enemy chopper.
or the deliveries,
Tactical
or
cache near.
I knew she was. I knew she was gestationally diabetic with Willie.
that whole thing about the abortion and all this other
I didn't know anything about the abortion or the plans for it, and she's supposed to be so strictly pro-life because every time she got pregnant, first time, then the second time. So what are we gonna do? Or what do you? It's like, first time. So what are we gonna do? Well, I'm not going for an abortion. I don't believe in that. Okay. I wasn't asking about that, but
Thank you.
good to know. I mean, like, how do we go from here? And stuff like that. And the second time, when it was Brian. So what are you going to do? Well, I'm not getting an abortion. Didn't ask that. So what are you going to do? I don't know. He doesn't want anything to do with the baby. And either she needed something, and or for whatever reason, I just started hanging out with her again more and more because he wanted nothing to do with her. So she's alone again, pregnant, has a baby. So,
Well, whose fault was that?
I showed up again to take care of Willie.
Helo coming in. Find yourself some cover.
I mean, that's a great fatherly thing to do, but whose fault was it that she was knocked up? Father didn't want nothing to do with the baby anyway.
Yeah, so
She got screwed and then screwed over. Whose fault is that?
Yep. I know.
Copy, boss. Moving there.
But I don't remember her being all that sick. Brian is a different breed altogether, so therefore it wasn't the same. It's kind of like, I don't know, maybe she had issues with Willie and Philly
Clear.
because she's Mexican and allergic to white man's splooge. Because the other guy is Mexican, and
Well,
she didn't
this
have any
is
problems with him.
I don't know. I just feel bad for, I feel bad for Philip all the way around, because regardless of whatever the fuck happened with the crazy bits, whatever happened to his older brother made his own choices, did his own thing. He didn't have to victimize anyone else, but he did. And then he went off and killed himself, and just never seemed to be able to take advantage of the idea that he could have repented for everything, been forgiven, and had a great life. But he couldn't wrap his mind around all that. And I wish I could have helped him in that regard, but he did his own thing. He made his own bed.
Uh-huh.
Now, Brian has made his own bed in so many words too. and even victimized his own brother.
Yeah.
I mean, and can't stand liars, but I still gave him chance after freaking bloody chance. And he still chose the woman that gave him up on his birthday. So he's made his bed, and I hope he enjoys it, because he's chosen the mother that didn't want anything to do with him on his birthday. And probably still says shit and does things to hurt him to this day. But does he seem to be phased?
No.
No.
He's probably her favorite now, because, well, he hasn't turned his back on her. He's turned his back on me, not her, and he gave her a granddaughter.
Who is now in custody of state of California.
Still?
Yes.
Why?
Probably because about the time that she got taken, remember, everyone ended up in cuffs. Except for Julie, the mother. Because the mother was cooperative. Whereas Julie has the baby probably somewhere down wherever she used to live. Because the baby is not at Windy Pass, and neither is the mother. So I would imagine the mother has the baby somewhere. But Brian doesn't have custody.
So there was court cases and everything.
This is what I've understood from Casey. And it all started because I had to
When did she
find-
tell you this? This is new?
Oh my God, you don't remember me telling you about this middle last year, maybe early last year or something?
No. The stuff was going to happen.
It already did happen. I even said how it all went down.
But I didn't hear the fact, I didn't hear anyone say that they were actually charged, tried, convicted, or were charged and pled
Well,
to charges.
when they get arrested and taken out of the house and down to booking and into arraignment, what do you think that means?
I haven't heard they were convicted, that they had a court trial,
Well, I mean,
that the arrests were just like last summer or something.
well, I'm sure by now they've been arraigned, and whatever happened in arraignment, if the baby is still not at the house, then they found something to be true.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta use sense and logic in it too. If that baby and
Yeah.
the mother isn't there, then maybe the mother got custody.
I'm not paying any attention. I'm not watching. Whatever.
I mean, she hasn't told me anything past the fact that they got arrested, but one can only deduce to the fact
Fuck is
that
that?
the baby isn't there. Taken by together.
Hostile spotted
The
there.
mother is not there, and she was the only cooperative person. Walt was in handcuffs, I was in handcuffs, Brian was in handcuffs, they were all taken out. So,
They figured out we're here.
Open up.
and it's because they were trying to block access to the baby, or 6-year-old, she was 6 at the time. And, Renee was trying to run with her, while Brian and Walt were trying to keep the social worker away from her. They were trying to run. And Brian was attacking the social worker. and the cops.
Switch
So
weapon.
that is what Casey told me about the whole debacle. Because she had called in to see what the result was. And they just could
You're
not
back to your old
believe
self.
that the two men in the house
Thanks.
were so incredibly stupid. And
That-
that the
okay.
women were incredibly dumb too.
Okay.
You're on the objective.
I do not see Walt
Hostile bird coming in.
tackling like that enough to warrant, what do you call,
Enemy is aware of our presence.
Yeah, to be,
Even
you know,
if he
like,
was-
I mean, I can see him getting all up into the top.
Playing field.
Top or a social worker or
from
help.
trying to take a child from his or Renee's. This is a child that's going to be taken from his house by the government. By force, if necessary.
I never thought that he would actually be that bold. So he'd be like, well, hey, you know, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I think you're wrong in doing this, but we're gonna get a lawyer and fight this.
And Renee's running. That's his wife.
Blasted him.
And his stepson.
Okay, and this is the
Move
other
into your
part.
position. Enemy chopper inbound.
I know she's stupid. I know this. But it's very difficult for me to believe that she would be that stupid.
Well, then she should have just went into Olympic with your boys that day when social workers wanted her to come and bring the kids.
She did.
She ran. No, she did not. She ran off to Barstow.
That's what she did.
And
She
so,
ran.
And she was running with her granddaughter too. That's what I'm trying to say. She tried to run, but this time the social worker was right in front of her with cops. But she thought she could make a mad dash for it and leave the guys to deal with it. Just
Because I never thought she would be that stupid to do something that, to do something that wild. I don't know. Maybe you know her better.
well, let's just say it this way.
To
She's got
Philip,
a,
meaning Philip.
I would say she's got a track record of breaking the law. She was completely okay with frauding LA. And then
Right.
she was okay with running out to Barstow with the boys after she was already admonished to bring them to Olympic building by this time on this day. She AWOLs,
Get down.
then she's in trouble and wanted, and when that happens, she calls and makes a deal. So she's been able to get herself out of trouble in the past.
Yeah.
She just pays the price, but as long as she doesn't go to jail or lose anything, she's okay with breaking the law again.
Got one.
Breaking the law. Breaking the law.
Breaking the law.
The law.
So, I mean, fugitive Renee, think about it.
I mean, she's already done enough stupid stuff with us. Would it be that hard to believe that she'll try doing it again?
No.
She's
Because
not
that is a
same-
level of stupid I didn't think that she could attain.
Yeah, she's gotten older. She hasn't gotten smarter.
Da-da-da-da.
And if she probably has the same problems as me,
You think
but
that
worse.
would sound like something she would do?
That is her baby
Try and
girl.
like,
I mean,
oh,
she
you're not taking my baby, no, and pick the child up and start
she's
running off
always-
down the street.
That
I
is
mean-
the girl she's always wanted.
I know this.
That would drive a woman insane to think she was going to lose the only girl she's ever wanted and finally got. You're not taking her.
Put your silencer with the hearing when you
I'm not gonna let you
heads up. That guy over there.
run with the baby. If I could get out of Dodge with 3 boys, I could certainly get out of Dodge with this little girl.
Chopper's out of range. We're good.
Thing is when they're standing right there and they can call for backup,
Make sure we're checking any intel.
in her twisted, demented little mind, trying to keep the baby girl with her, she failed to believe or even think or entertain the fact that there may be backup. There may be consequences. I may be surrounded. Something may happen.
They know who you are. They know where you live. No matter where
Instinct
you go.
told her run.
Yeah. And I can believe that.
Overhead. Be careful.
You know what? Actually, I can believe that she would. But part of me would think that she would realize they know who I am. They know where I live.
They've
They-
seen the baby.
Excuse me. Excuse me. They know where my family is.
Temperature
If
call.
I
Air
run,
is clear.
they're gonna find me. I have nowhere to go. And I would think that that would actually stick in her mind, and she would maybe try to, like, no, 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 you know, like, not like run off, jump in the car and take off on a high speed chase. No.
She didn't make it out the back door. They already had her surrounded, but she tried.
Be advised. Drone on the X.
The social worker was at the door already.
All right.
So were the cops.
Located the bad guy over there.
And they saw her try to run out the back. And they were like, okay, either mother or grandmother is going that way. And that's when Walt went down here towards the back of the house. And Brian attacked the social
Boys, come back, drone.
no, you can't come in.
Give it to him! Night
So
vision
the
on.
lady got stopped by someone that
Here
they
it comes.
couldn't
Engaging.
tackle or otherwise touch. Backup showed up because someone was like, we're having trouble here. And that's who got Renee before she could get to any cars or even get out the back door. Right at the back door, she gets it open. That's how a child detainment works.
Enemy hero inbound. Stay low.
The state is coming for Jules. And they took it by force.
Spotted a
All
ground drone.
because I wanted to get a therapist for Philip. And
Chopper's coming.
Philip had
Clear.
recently told me that Brian
Nomad, drone's out
had
of
been
juice.
molesting and like forcing himself on and whatever. So
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? That was just part of the whole thing. Like, Casey
Did
was
she go to
like,
bed?
Why do you need Philip to have a therapist? Like,
Apparently
what's
she
the
went to
problem?
bed and didn't say goodnight.
No. Connection lost. That's what it says. Connection lost. I will redial in 1 second. Because we've been talking about.
Well, no, okay, I thought you mean like she picked up the child, made it out the door, and was going to run off down the street, and they caught her before she could get off the property. Or she was going to run out to a car. I didn't think she'd ever be stupid enough, like.
She attempted, but she didn't make it that far.
Then again, 'cause I would think that she would have actually matured with age. And she wouldn't think stupid
Get
shit
on, you
like
ghost
that.
lead.
In her youth, fuck yeah.
Grenade, hit the deck.
Well,
I'm just apparently. I give her way too much credit.
Time for some night vision. Getting eyes on the area.
No, I don't feel so bad.
This'll help.
Got a grenade for ya. All dangers marked.
About talking shit. About shit talking her.
Letting her in.
Shot one of them.
Hostiles hit. Way to get it done.
She is the moron I've always.
but not only that, if you think about it, I mean, she gets a paper. This is something that I was seriously thinking that was going to honestly
I hit
happen.
one.
I was terrified that I was going to lose Philip before I even got him.
Hit him where it
That
hurts.
she was going to come to the court, fight
He's still
for
down.
him, make us lose,
I'll get you a scan.
make me lose, saying whatever about the crazy lady in the courtroom that killed her baby by da-da-da-da-da, just, you know, all the bad things that came out from his mom, and don't you know, she's also lost 3 girls of her own, and she's this, and this. All the bad stuff she's ever told you, I thought she would unload and unleash on drugs, Glenn Hollis.
Yeah.
Because I thought she was like, because I was told by the person that, like, this person came out, a bailiff came out, and the bailiff literally told me and Beverly that, and this was about the same time that Terry Shimahara had shown up a little bit late. Bailiff comes out and tells me and Beverly, okay, are you Janetta? Yes. Okay, is the other party here? Yes. Okay, all of your parties are here, I take it? Yes. Including family and friends? Yes. Everyone that I've invited or that I told this to is here. And everyone was looked at by the bailiff. Okay, cool. We are waiting on 1
I got you.
to 2 more parties, just depending on
Hostile
if,
identified.
That's it.
Appreciate that, boss.
William Shire shows up. That's the person who signed for it. But Renee that kind of makes it contestable. because
Area's
he's
secure.
fundamental
Now the
facility
outcasts can
that
track and
makes
destroy all the
him
flying
being
drones in the
able to
region.
make this decision for himself. Because of the Asperger's and the PDD NOS and
I was busy talking to someone else.
all of that, she had to be summoned. So she could contest it or at least speak to the amount of mental disability or brain deterioration Philip would have based on the diagnosis that he had, which means that he may not understand what he is doing.
G28.
So, yeah. So that's why we waited until 2:30, 2:35 to walk in. Because we were supposed to be in there getting adopted at 2 p.m.
Wow.
They gave her 35 minutes and then an extra 10. Because, I mean, we didn't get adopted until 2:45, but it didn't take very much time for the judge to say.
Exactly. The proceedings didn't take really all that
2
long.
minutes.
We were all just waiting on her.
She never showed.
But,
I was surprised. You okay?
waiting for a chance to speak, and then when I finally could, I forgot what I was going to say. It was a response to something you had said.
That I was surprised you didn't show.
No. Something probably before that.
That,
Well, I kind of wish that I was actually there with you when that court person came out, so I could have actually been there and heard that too. But I was too busy,
Harold and Rudy.
minding the guests, keeping them together and focused,
Heads up.
and
Bad guy over there.
He just said that there was one more party and she got a certified mail. He didn't know if maybe the two parties would come, but the one that was served and the one that signed for the one that was served. And he said, so Renee Doreen Shinen, the birth mother, has been summoned, but a Corey William Shire signed for it. So we're just waiting for one or both of the parties to show up. And I said, Corey William, that is the brother of the adoptee that I'm attempting to adopt today. That is my husband's firstborn son and firstborn of Renee. So that is one of the sons. That's Corey.
553.
He said, yeah, it looked like he had the same last name as you guys, all of you folks, but she has a different last name.
Cause she ain't no Shire no more.
So I figured that y'all were related in some small way. Yeah, we are. Very small.
You should have said, well, Renee Doreen Shining is a Shining because she's not a Shire no more. My husband Corey, Philip's dad, and Corey William Shire's dad. Now she's a Shining. But she's
That's better.
Corey
You're
William,
sniper.
firstborn, and Philip Matthew,
Streets are moving.
right?
Find some cover, boss. You're not looking good. We got an
That's the
automated
one we hear
gun.
about.
Because she's gonna be
You're
the
fixed.
mother of my second boy.
You need to stay low.
She's about to have my baby. And she's about to lose my baby.
If you say so, I don't know about that.
Well, she lost your baby and I gained your baby. So I had your baby and she lost it. All on the same day.
I never lost nothing.
The day after her birthday. Happy birthday. Damn, I lost my son. That's even if she fucking cares. That fucking...
Scanning the perimeter.
Redial. Please say you like,
Explosives expert.
plugged in or whatever.
There's a
How
turret.
you lost the connection? Come on.
Drone battery 0. It's out.
Yeah,
Could have used him right about now.
whatever. I never lost nothing. Well,
Got you, boss. Watch out for mortars.
The connection got lost like now.
no, yes.
Corey was gonna tell me one thing.
Oh!
Sound mortars on the way.
I did lose. I did lose that
You're
bet.
set.
Win-win.
Yes, you did. I'm glad that you could see it.
Hang on,
now.
Fury.
You're welcome.
Definitely a win-win,
You're welcome.
There you go.
right, Pat? By me adopting Philip and
Ah.
us having custody,
Hang in there,
we
Fix
don't have to worry about
Ow.
trying to enforce
It. Good.
her
Biological.
biological motherhood of Philip by calling us all the time, saying he needs to come home. He has things he's got to do. Trying to get him to go back to her and be away from us.
What do you want to talk about? I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk to her. I want to talk to you.
We got Fury down.
We got this. I got you, Fury.
And he swears on everyone and his monkey uncle.
All set.
Much
That
better, Ghost
Pat
Lead.
gave him that sword. That she is the reason for all of his swordsmanship.
Hang tight, Fix It.
He won't let up on that shit.
There you go.
Nobody
drone's
believes that
flying.
Pat gave him fucking swords. Except for him. He's got delusion.
Let's get to it.
You know what? Me and Lori just belong for half an hour together. I should let Lori know. I will admit to fighting
Put that in it.
We're making good headway now.
And I'm sitting here going, how?
Switch.
How am I your fucking cousin? Because that's what that makes me. You son of a fucking bitch. I was yelling at my computer through my brain going, how in the hell is it possible that I'm related to you, you fucking bitch? Barry, Pop, Lori, Dad. I'm like, how am I your fucking cousin? Now look at his
Drone's
cousin
out
I
of
gotta be
juice.
because of you.
You lost it.
You had to go and get crazy. You had to go make crazy. What the hell was wrong with you? Why did you have to bring that one into this world? Out of all of the kids, why did you have to get pregnant with her?
Yeah.
Couldn't you have made it without the last baby girl named Lori?
Daddy's little girl.
Good Lord. Couldn't you stop
Putting on
talking?
night vision. Open
Just
fire!
say enough's enough, man.
She's the third of four, right?
She's the last girl. He wanted
Oh wait,
another girl and got...
wait. She has one sister and three brothers.
She was the last girl, and Adam is the baby. And the thing is Adam was supposed to be another girl because she wanted three girls, not the other way around. Two girls, three boys? No, she wanted a three girls,
Target hit.
two boys.
Tossing the grenade at him. You got a kid.
That'll do some
Yeah,
damage.
so she got pregnant one last time and was a boy, so she's like, enough is enough, I'm done.
Switching
But
to
I
night
think
vision.
that Barry
Get
should
it.
put her in her place
Good one.
before Lori. Look, we've got enough. We've got, you know, Alex and Summer. We're perfect. We don't need no more.
Target hit. Negative contact here.
Because then Lori couldn't have rubbed off on Alex in such a bad way.
You're the right.
Adam, sorry. Anyway,
All right.
love you.
Good night.
I'll talk to y'all later. Good night.
Good night.
All right. Night, night. Alrighty.
Switch to flashbangs.
Gonna have you do your bedtime prayer. It is 10.